and watch movies, or am I going out? Am I hanging out with my friends? I always make sure that my weekend does not just fly like that. I mean, there has to be
Mm.
activity. It is a thing of choice. You just don't, when you say, yeah, when you say you leave everything to God, definitely we are all leaving everything to God, because there is nothing, every other thing you are doing, you're just playing your own part and let God play his own part.
Sure.
However, even if you go into your kitchen and cook your meal and
Mm.
serve the meal, it is not God that will come and hold your hands and feed you. You have to eat that food. You have to use your hand and cook that food and eat. So always and always, God has a huge role to play in our lives. But then we have our own roles to play too. You can be very deliberate about having a beautiful weekend. You can just plan out something. Maybe
Mm.
if you spend money, just stay home. If there is power supply, you enjoy music. There's no power supply. I mean, from NEPA, as we call them. You power your generator, your solar or whatever. Then you just, I mean,
Just
life
keep
has
going.
like Rose. Life
Mm.
has to duplicate. So I don't joke with myself. I don't. I don't.
Okay.
I don't like my.
Thank you very much, Ibinabo, for those important words to draw. Because I mean, at the end of the day, this life is just one. So what do you do with it, and how do you go about it? Okay, so this is your Women Radio WFM 91.7. Susan is trying to catch up with her flights to go back to Abuja. We wish her a safe flight, and I'm sure that by Monday we'll definitely get to hear from her. And I'm really sure that she's excited to be able to attend the VAL conference in Abuja next week, Thursday. Now, yesterday, we talked a little bit about the flood that is going on, especially in Lagos and in every other state, because of the couple of days rains that we've had so far. And Susan was saying that, oh, well, because of the flooding, she can't even get into Lagos, around Lagos, to see her family. And this is somebody who last saw them in March, as she said yesterday. So she was supposed to see them, at least since she's in Oyo, Ibadan. So she's supposed to see them before she leaves. But now she's not even able to see them because they told her, you know what, Susan, don't even bother coming. Coupled with the fact. So
Yeah.
yeah, well, that's about it. You want to say something?
Yes. I
Okay.
want to say something. You say in year out, we're always talking about flood, flood, and flood. I mean, I can't recall any particular year we didn't talk about flood.
Yeah.
And every year, people are they taking precautions? find overgrown grasses, you find overgrown weeds and all of that. And I mean, that is not the responsibility of the people to clear. It is the duty of the government to clear the channels for water to have free flow. So if all hands would just be on deck, we will, at least there will be some level of reduction in the hazards of floodings, you understand? But we don't take precaution. We don't, we are not, how do I put it now? There's something about maintenance culture that we lack.
Yes, yes.
Maintenance culture in a very massive way. We build a channel, everybody is happy. And when these channels are getting blocked, both the government and the people don't care. People pass by, throw their waste in, the government will pass by, see that this place is blocked, nobody does anything, everybody just sit down and watch. And when the rains come, they will begin to run helter-skelter. And in some areas, we talk about some of these developers. How do you buy, hectares of land, and you wouldn't, as you are planning that area for as a residential area, or even if it's an industrial area, do you factor in drainage channels? All these things that we call gutter, do you factor all these things in? These are very important things. You go to some areas, you are looking for where, okay, if there's a heavy downpour here, where would the water pass? No drainage channels. It's either they had, those are properly done, and as of that time, it has been blocked. So if we ever appreciate the dangers of this, of when a place is flooded, how people are being swept away by floods, how properties are being inundated by floods and all of that, we will try and do better. So the responsibility lies with the people and the government. Everybody should do their own bit. That is it.
Yeah. All right, everybody should do their own bit, and I'm sure that we'll definitely win this war against the flood. Because if you see the kinds of properties that have been lost on this floods, it's just something else. Anyway, this is your Women Radio WFM 91.7, 21 minutes past 9 on this side of the radio, and this is the program Highlands right here on Women Radio. Do want to be a part of the program by dialing 07000 917 917. You can also dial 09155 917 917. Our WhatsApp lines are 070 317 56537 or 08155 917 917. Those are the numbers to get in touch with us this morning on the program Her Lens. Okay, my name is Rose, and I've got Ibinabo with me. Susan is trying to catch up with a flight to Abuja, and Buki had to attend to some family issues this morning. So yeah, we're here with Ibinabo this morning. So yesterday, Ibinabo, we started up talking about what happened at a particular college in Lagos, and we could not finish up with that conversation. So we'll just wrap it up this morning, and then we'll look at something else. I'm sure that you must have seen the videos of young boys who were smoking, passing the puff from one person to another. And this happened at a particular school in Lagos called Excel College. And the school, the Lagos State government, took note of that video and started investigating further. And then we later saw a statement from the school, Excel College Ejiko. They responded to the viral video, giving us reasons why the video is there, and of course also telling us that some measures have been taken to curb such incidents that could happen, or just to make sure that this does not happen again, and even other measures they have taken to curb bullying and all of that. So they've actually taken measures to see that this does not happen. Some of the students who were part of the whole smoking and drinking session, some of them were told to leave the school, and for those who I think still had exams to write or so, they came back and they wrote their exams and they had to serve the suspension. So a lot of them were in SS3, as of when this video was circulating the social media. So yesterday we started talking about it. And, Buki talked about the root causes of it, talked about how if it was her, she would actually want to sit down and ask where it's coming from, where it's actually coming from, and want to find out more. And then Mrs. Oboli called and said that if and she asked, if as a parent you find your child doing this, or they report this to you that this is what your child is part of, what are the things that you were going to do? How do you react to this kind of incidents? And then let's not forget that these are our young ones. They are the leaders of tomorrow. They're the ones that we're hoping that will take Nigeria to a new level. But is this how we want to take it? And let's not forget that there's peer pressure. Let's not forget that there's, the power of media. A lot of things they get to see, some of the music videos they watch, some of the people they take as their mentors, some of the entertainment leaders that they take as their mentors, people who they think are doing well and are showing them that all things are cool. If you don't do it, you cannot be cool, or you can't have access to money, or you can't have access to the good things of life, making all of this look enticing to them. So, where is all of this coming from, and how do we nip this in the board? So, I would just like to have your thoughts on all of this quickly, Binabo, and then we'll move on to the next story for today.
Okay. I want to say that it is very irresponsible for any parent to abdicate their responsibilities to teachers. As parents, you are the first adults that your child knew before the child started seeing other adults. You are the first teacher. Everything in the life of this child, you are the first. So what did you do? How did you bring up this child? How did you train up this child? What were the values you instilled in this child? Because it is very important. And having said that, it is a sad thing that some parents do not even know how to raise their children. And the truth of the matter is, you can't give what you do not have.
Yeah.
If as a parent you don't know any better, how do you train up a child? How do you instill discipline? Probably not. You even refuse to be properly trained as a child. So, as a parent, what do you pass to your child? Because you lack it, you don't have it, and that is very unfortunate. Because from the story that the school gave us, they said it was the mother of a particular student who came in to celebrate her son's birthday. She was the one who brought in the wine, and the wine was an alcohol-free wine. She was the one who brought in the phone with a camera. She was the one who brought everything. And she came in around 7 p.m. So for me, I even refuse to believe that story. Because if it is a school where there are rules and regulations guiding the school, no parents, except there's an emergency, except is in a state of emergency, and there is need for the parent to come, you have no business in your child's school by 7 p.m. 7 p.m. is not a good hour to be in the child's school, let alone boarding school, let alone coming in to celebrate. Are you having a night party? So you see, all of these things, you look at all of these things, if that story was anything to go by, then I would say that such a parent need to go back home for her parents to train her properly, because she doesn't have anything to impact a child with. And I saw the video. The video didn't look like there was a parent present. The video didn't look like it was a particular person's birthday. It looked like what they usually do. It looked at something that wasn't the first time. Because, I was discussing with a younger person who would fall within the age bracket of those boys. And you see, if you go back to the video, you see that they all appeared very, very greasy. Their skin were very oily. The guy was trying to explain some things and I didn't like it. And then again, see that they were smoking. You see, smoking is not something you just wake up and start doing. So when you see a first time smoker, they will cough and cough and cough. So these boys were inhaling the smoke and exhaling it freely with ease. Nobody coughed, nobody felt like a first timer. So that wasn't the first time. So the question is, what if this video did not make it to the social media? What would the school have done? How long has this been on? This couldn't have been the first time. So you see, that goes to tell us that Some of these schools running boarding houses don't have the capacity to run it.
To run it.
It's not just having the money to build these hostels. It is about monitoring. It is not just having people to oversee these children. It's about people who have the capacity, to caution a student who is going overboard. Because you see some of these house masters and house mistresses, when they know that a particular child's parents, they are well-to-do, they find it difficult to scold these children when they go astray or when they are doing something that is contrary to the rule book of the school. So at the end of the day, you realize that both the school management, the people put in charge to oversee these students and everybody, they have all failed. So I want to advise that as a parent, if you want to enroll your child in a school where the child will be in boarding house, did you do your due diligence? What kind of relationship do you have with your child? Do you discuss? Can your child tell you something funny is going on in the school? What kind of a child have you raised? Is your child so impressionable that getting to school, his peers would, make him do things that ordinarily he shouldn't do? Important things that parents should understand.
Okay.
To stop indulging. I've been to a party where a young girl clocked 18, and the father was supposed to be a former minister, and the mother is they are big though, at least in Nigeria and how we describe people. And this young girl clocked 18, and the parents bought drinks with alcohol. That now you're 18, enjoy yourself, enjoy being an adult. You can vote and be voted for. And they went on and on. And I was telling myself that, is that all you can tell this child? Nobody's talking about self-responsibility. Nobody's talking about, being, displaying great values. You're talking about old enough to vote and be voted. I mean, parents, we should do better.
Okay.
You need to do better, because if you don't know any better, I wonder what you're going to be teaching your children.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Binabo, for your thoughts on this, and of course, urging parents to do better when raising their kids, because at the end of the day, the good book says, "Train up a child in the way he should go." So how you treat that child is how they will definitely grow and become who they are. All right, so this is your Women Radio, WFM 91.7. This is 29 minutes to 10 on this side of the radio, and this is the program Halent. So we have ladies from different geopolitical zones join us to discuss, dissect, and disagree on topical issues right here on your Women Radio.
Women Radio 91.7.
Something big is coming with Better Play. Get ready to turn 500 Naira into a 200,000 Naira daily jackpot. Yes, you heard me right. 200,000 Naira every single day. The more tickets you grab, the higher your chances of winning. Stay tuned, because this is the game changer you've been waiting for. Coming to you on Women Radio 91.7 FM. Are you ready to play and win big?
Kí ló ń sún ọpọ́n ìrẹsì jọ̀lọ́ọ̀fù lọ sípele ìgbádùn tó ga? Ṣé tí wọ́n bá sè é pẹ̀lú kóró náà fún adùn tó kà màmá yẹn ni? Tàbí tẹ́ bá jẹ́ pẹ̀lú ojúlówó sàláàdì Nàìjíríà, èso kábéèjì, kárọ̀tì, lẹ́tùsì, àtẹ̀wà oníkíndìnrín díẹ̀.
Ó ní láti jẹ́ méjèèjì. Ṣé jollof rice rẹ pẹ̀lú adùn kóró náà kí o wá jẹ́ pẹ̀lú ọ̀pọ̀ ẹ̀fọ́. Ó yá, jẹ́ kí ọ̀pọ̀ oúnjẹ rẹ gbé pẹ́ẹ́lí. Lónìí, jẹun tó dáa.
Ndị be anyị, ihe okwu eruola o. Ego na-ezo dịka mmiri ozuzo.
Better play, better chance. 200,000 Naira nwere ike ịbanye n'aka gị taa.
Geekwa ntị, ugboro 3 n'ụbọchị. Aha ndị mmeri ga-apụta live na redio.
Naanị 500 Naira ka ị nwere ike iji merie ruo 200,000 Naira kwa ụbọchị. Sonye na Better Play ugbu a ma geekwa ntị na redio ma ọ kụọ elekere 10 nke ụtụtụ, elekere 2 nke ehihie na elekere 6 nke abalị kwa ụbọchị. Aha gị nwere ike bụrụ nke akpọrọ Better Play. Ebukwala oge. Mee ngwa ngwa zụta tiketi gị ugbu a.
Zụta tiketi gị na www.betterplay.ng maọbụ pịa *347*154#. Ịchọọ ime ka ohere gị bawanye, ị nwere ike ịzụta tiketi ruru 20.
Mee ngwa ngwa soro anyị na Facebook @betterplay na Instagram @betterplayng maka ozi ọhụrụ. Oge iji emeri ego a eruola. Ị nwere ike ịbụ onye mmeri tata. Better Play bụ naanị maka ndị toruru afọ 18 ma ọ bụ karịa. Sonye egwuregwu a n'ụzọ ziri ezi.
See, everybody with him own wahala. Every day comes with its own version of challenges, and you have to be ready to face them, because only then can you move on to the next. That's why I never miss my breakfast. Scratch that! My peak breakfast, with the nutrients and energy I need to face each day, one challenge at a time.
Every day is a good day to power on with a peak breakfast. Have you had your peak? Reach for your peak.
This October, the voices of women will unite in a powerful call to action as Nigeria rises. Join us on Thursday, October 2nd, 2025 at the NAF Conference Center in Abuja, Nigeria for the Night Voice of Women Conference and Awards, VOW 2025. Speakers include Vice President Kashim Shatima, GCON, Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Benjamin Kalu, Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Ponzile Nlambo Nkuka, former Deputy President of South Africa, Imam Suleiman Ibrahim, Minister for Women Affairs, Barrister Nkiru Onyediocha, Minister for State Labour, Adijat Adeleye, Kafilat Ogbara, Erelubisi Fayemi, Ansatu Adegbite, Sherifat Taliat, Ebere Mfendu, Gileva, British Deputy High Commissioner. VOW 2025 is a strictly by invitation event that celebrates the power of collective action, where women rise together. This initiative, spearheaded by the Voice of Women Empowerment Foundation, is in collaboration with Women Radio 91.7 FM and supported by the MacArthur Foundation, Amandla Institute, First Bank, LIRS, NIMASA, and Asha Microfinance.
In a fast-paced world, it's easy to drift, lose focus, and forget yourself, your identity, and the power that lies within you. But what if you pause, breathe, reflect, reset, and redirect? Let me invite you to the second edition of the EMAP series powered by Artisan Broadcast and Production Limited and supported by Smiles Radio 98.7 FM. The EMAP Series 002 has been put together to help you redirect your energy, connect with your inner self, and step into power. Join us for this life-changing and impactful seminar with the team Pause to Power, Disrupting the Drift, on the 18th of October 2025. Time 6 p.m., where Dr. Olufumilayo Akinola, a consultant addiction psychiatrist of the Federal Neuropsychiatric Hospital, Yaba, Lagos, Dr. Rotimi Olu Akinlesi, Permanent Secretary and Team Lead Encouragement Initiative, and Ambrose Oluta Ashomide will be walking you through how to get the spark back for a more purpose-driven life. You don't want to miss this session. Note that this is a virtual seminar. For registration details, call Tumishe on 0802-811-9509 or Isioma on 0808-657-0100. EMAP 002, a journey to self-discovery.
Do you know that rape, domestic violence, and child abuse are all crimes against the state? Do you know that as a survivor of either domestic and sexual violence, you can access medical, legal, counseling, and other services at no cost? Please reach out to us on 0800-333-333. Help is a phone call away, and utmost confidentiality is guaranteed. Don't suffer in silence. We believe you. This message was brought to you by the Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency with support from the Carter Center.
Hello Alaja. Mummy àná yẹn padà wá sí shop ma. Wọ́n ní kí n fún wọn ní ẹ̀dínwó nínú owó léèsì, aṣọ òkè àti brocade tí wọ́n rà. Ẹ ṣé kí n fún wọn ní ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ kí ẹ bá wọn sọ̀rọ̀.
Shukura, ṣó ní credit ni?
Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni ma, MTN Better Gist ni mò ń lò ma. Àti sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ kì í ṣe nǹkan bàbàrà mọ́. Pẹ̀lú ìṣẹ́jú 6 tó fi sọ̀rọ̀, MTN máa bù yín ní ìṣẹ́jú 3 sí i pé *123*2*1# tàbí kí o tẹ àtẹ̀jíṣẹ́ PG sí 312. Ọ̀rọ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ nìyẹn o. Àwọn òfin àti ìlànà wà.
Oya, give them left and right, hot. You think you know Nigeria's biggest tunes?
This battle is a problem.
Then get in the ring on the Big Tune Show every weekday from 4 to 5 p.m. on WFM 91.2. Be ready. Go get them out.
Turn your radios up! Whoa!
WFM at 1.7.
We go live.
All right, this is your Women Radio WFM 91.7, and this is the program Her Lens right here on Women Radio. My name is Rose, and I have Ibinabo Dixon with me this morning on the program Her Lens. Okay, so to be a part of the program, you can dial 07000 917 917. You can also go ahead and dial 9155 917 917. For WhatsApp messages, you can send it to 0703 1756537 or 08155 917 917. Those are the numbers to get in touch with us this morning on the program Her Lens. All right, so we'll just head on straight, Ibinabo, to the next issue we have. Still has to do with students. Now, for this particular story, I had to delay it yesterday because I wanted to have your perspective as an educationist, so far, especially within the confines of the country, Nigeria. Now, this video that we saw about boarding school students being fed food, okay, and the quality of food we saw. Can you pay what is happening? Did you see how watery the soup is, and see how all of them were actually just eating it? Because that's the only thing that was provided for them. And the school setting looks like I wouldn't know, but it looks like maybe a federal school or so, but we're not so sure. But this actually came from a media professional who put this up on social media. He saw it and he couldn't just keep it, and he put it up. And it just got me. I attended a boarding school, and it wasn't this bad. Okay, the food that we were given were the same food that our principal and the head of different departments in schools were also eating. So if they cook lunch for us, that same lunch from the same pot, they will carry and give to the principal, they will carry and give to some of the teachers that were around. So they were sharing this food all around. So if the food not taste nice, my own principal will get up and go to that kitchen and go and ask them what is happening. So it took intention from our principal then to make sure that the food that was served was good food. Both breakfast, lunch, and dinner, she had to have a taste of it, or there was somebody around, even if she was not around, to have a taste of it to make sure that it was good enough for us. But who is checking all of these things in probably federal schools? Who is checking all of these things in some private schools who just want to collect money and keep your child? Look at the quality of food that is being given. And we say this is a Nigerian, school. If we don't have the facility to keep up with boarding schools, why can't we just let it be? Why can't we just let it be? Okay, so and if you go through the comments of this particular post we saw, a lot of people were reminded of how they got through with boarding school. I know how boarding school helped me, shaped my life and decisions I made. But now we have lots of parents who are probably my age who went to boarding school who are saying that my children will not go to boarding school because of what I faced in boarding school. So is boarding school now getting to a point where, although now boarding school where if you get money, the kind of boarding school where you go carry your pikin go, where you go get full attention. The food served, now them go they select which kind of food they want. But then, for those who are not able to make it to that kind of schools, whose parents are not able to pay for those kind of schools, and probably these are the options they have. Seeing this one now, is it encouraging? Yeah? I just have to delete so that we'll hear your own perspective as an educationist on this particular, video that we have seen. So let's hear you, Binabo, on this.
Thank you, Rose. You see, things are happening. Just as we talk about the standard of education that keeps falling and falling helplessly, it is not just about the standard of education. Everything that has to do with it, even those in boarding schools, even the kind of food they eat, the bed they sleep on, and all of that. So Nobody inspects anymore. Even if people, because we have agencies, government agencies, whose personnel are supposed to go around, inspecting what is going on. And in most cases, I usually advise spot checking. Don't tell them, just randomly, just pick a school and then visit and then see what they are doing. But even when they go to this school and get to see what they are doing, you know how people will beg and everything and go the extra mile to do some other things, and these reports wouldn't get to the government. So, therefore, there will be no amendment, there will be no solution to such a problem, so it will just linger. So the thing is this, parents, as much as it is good to look out for your children, it is good to want to give them the best. There are schools where, when it comes to food, they give good meal. When it comes to education, the academic, they get the best that the school is able to offer. But there are schools that they will tell you, what the economy is, this and that. They keep giving excuses, and they would end up giving these children the kind of food we saw. This wasn't the first time. There was a time, a particular video made it to the social media where, it was supposed to be free lunch for pupils in the school.
Yeah.
I think was it somewhere in the north or somewhere, and they were supposed to serve the children beans, and the beans looked like, let me don't just spoil beans for beans lovers. Very, very irritating. And they served these children, and the bread they gave along with the beans, you don't even want to understand, you want to see the size. So many things are going on, and you know that the dangers therein is very clear. I don't know why they are doing what they are doing. When you don't feed a child well, we are talking about stunted growth, because child lacks some nutrients in his or her meal. It will affect the growth of this child. It will affect even the immune system of this child. And this child, will be very susceptible to picking up infections here and there because the immunity is down. You understand? So I don't know why. I'm telling you, some parents will see and note that this is, maybe they have a child in that school. And they wouldn't even endeavor to go and withdraw that child from that school or try to do something. They'll tell you what. And when they are on holidays, when they come home, we'll feed them well. So what is about this feed them well in the morning and not feed them well in the evening? You understand? So the responsibility mostly I will heap on the parents, because when you want to put your child in the care of anybody, you should do your due diligence. And then you should have a conversation line with your child whereby you want to know, okay, what do you eat? What's the nature of the food and everything? Because in most cases, things like this happen in some, not all, in some model colleges.
Yeah.
Where they will tell you that, okay, how much are they paying and all of that. But if you feel that the money the parents are paying is not enough to feed this child well, then cancel the boarding house system. And then let the children come from home. So if you want your child to go to a boarding house and you know that you can't afford it, leave your child to go to day school. We just create problems for ourselves because you want to breathe, because you don't want, sometimes you look at the nature of your job and you want to put your child in a boarding house, but you look at which one is worth it. Is it your child to go to a place where, like we just discussed the other story, where this child will be introduced to drugs, become addicted to drugs, or you want to enroll a child in a school where they don't serve good meal, or what? Or have you been into some hostels? Have you seen their mattresses? A particular school, not this one is a higher institution, a post-secondary school, and it happened that we were supposed to have a program there.
Yeah.
My eyes caught the kind of mattress that they use in that school, in their hostel.
Yeah.
Nobody will argue it. That mattress, you go carry bed bug.
Hey.
The mattress looks like. And that was just, when I was talking about it, somebody said, have you been to other rooms? That's how they are, except you change it yourself. So you see, the problem is hydra-headed. We need government agencies responsible for, looking out for these boarding houses. Job. Check these boarding houses out. Check the kind of food they give them.
Yeah.
Randomly speak with a student. Promise the child anonymity. The child will open up to you. I promise a child that nobody will know you told me this, but just give me facts. And I was able to gather my information. And we took it back to the school management. They couldn't deny it. They had to make changes. So you see, when people don't do their jobs, when people just want to sit in their offices and pretend as if all is well, this is what we get. How do you feed? Even the sight of the food is very irritating.
It is.
Let alone this child having to consume it, because that is all there was to eat. So parents have a huge role to play. The school management has a huge role to play, and we should stop coming up for these schools. If you find that a particular school is engaging in this kind of thing, expose them if you have your facts, so that it will be easier for the government to swing into action and put a stop to it. But if you videos and then you cover up the school's name and everything, then how can the government do anything about it? Because, I mean, how do you just randomly pick or guess that it must be a particular school? Except you were able to recognize a student in the video, and then you can know that, okay, this child attends a particular school, so it must be that school. So there's a lot for us to do. And then some of these schools, they are all about profit making. Even when parents pay good money for fooding, they will still go ahead and feed the children with this rubbish that we saw on the video, because they want to keep some money and make more profit. That is why parents need to have good conversation with their children. How was school? What were they feeding you? Did you like your meal? This and that. You see some children, when they want to go back to school, like, school just resumed. Somebody told me her son said he didn't want to go back to school. I said, did you ask him? I said, which one? Let him go back to school. He wants to stay at home and free internet. He wants to enjoy free this and that. I said, that is not the problem. You should have you should have asked him questions that will make him tell you why he was hesitant, resuming school. But if you just give it your own reasons, then you're not being fair, because you're not the one in that school. So you cannot say that was exactly what the child, was trying to avoid. Maybe not wanting to go to school for free internet, because of free this and that. It's unfair. Do your due diligence. Sit your child down. Find out why. Because me, when I was in school, especially in my primary school, I was always looking forward to going to school. Because I had, when I wasn't doing badly in school, and my friends, I was about the smallest amongst them, and I was very brilliant. So I was everybody's pet. I was everybody's friend. And so I was always looking forward to going to school. I was always looking forward to, getting the best result, and then the teacher, everybody would say nice things about me. Everybody wanted to be my friend and all of that. So if I had it the other way, I probably wouldn't be looking forward to resuming school after the holidays. And then my parents would just push me, go, without wanting to know why I didn't want to go to school. It is bad. Parents should please always try to understand why they are refusing to do something, so that you can understand. Sometimes it will lead to a solution. But if you're just in a hurry to get rid of that child, later. Because good food, you see, some when they come down with any form of illness, they are able to pull through because their body has the immunity level needed for this disease. But when your child has not been well fed, life has been such a hard knock for this child, when there is any very little illness here and there, the child will just, you are almost losing your child. So it's very important. And school owners, see, education and school owners in the past, it was all about passion for that profession.
Yes.
You should invest your money and then lose. But what I'm saying is, the first reason for you wanting to establish a school should be that you have passion for it. You have for education. You have passion to train up children properly. You want to be proud of your students, your pupils in your school. When they grow older, they can always, I was at a program yesterday where a school commission their sports center, and a parent brought in a son who is already a graduate, and he was a student in that particular school, and the boy had good words to put in for that school. So these are the kind of things we want. Not that you enroll your child in a boarding house, and the next thing you know is that your child is smoking. You enroll your child in a boarding school, and the next thing you are seeing your child is just emaciating. This child is becoming the exact opposite of his real self, and they are condition, and you don't even know what is going on. You're not care, and you don't even care to know. It's very shameful, and it's very bad for any parent to do that. Try and understand why your child is saying no. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Ibinabo, for being a part of the program today and for giving us perspective from, someone who is involved in this firsthand, talking to parents, talking to school owners, talking to the government, to do the right thing. Thank you so much, Ibinabo. Have a great weekend ahead.
You do likewise. Come here, I will try.
I trust you. All right, so that's it on Her Lens today. Join us again on Monday. God's willing, we'll be here to take you on Her Lens. My name is Rose Yusuf Kaiser. A very big thank you to each and every one of you who tuned in to listen to Her Lens. Still want to have a great weekend ahead. Good morning.
WFM 91.7.
To sponsor this program, call the number 0816 480 7613.
Kí ló ń sún ọpọ́n ìrẹsì jọ̀lọ́ọ̀fù lọ sípele ìgbádùn tó ga? Ṣé tí wọ́n bá sè é pẹ̀lú kóró náà fún adùn tó kà màmá yẹn ni? Tàbí tẹ́ bá jẹ́ pẹ̀lú ojúlówó sàláàdì Nàìjíríà, èso kábéèjì, kárọ̀tì, lẹ́tùsì, àtẹ